Welcome to the Digital Loctician Podcast, a place for you to feel seen, heard, and empowered along your lock journey. I'm your host and digital loctician, Jocelyn Reneé. Welcome back to another episode. I am so grateful for your presence here today. We have a really powerful conversation that I feel like is not discussed enough. So I was so excited when our guest today reached out to me and offered to be a guest on the podcast so that we can have this open discussion and invite you all into the conversation. Really talking about the commercialization of locks. And so it's going to be a juicy one. But before we get into it, I did want to let you all know that today's episode, like all episodes, is sponsored by Crown Elements. Crown Elements is a hair care line specifically formulated for locks to make healthy hair accessible. So if you're looking for hair care for your locks, make sure you head over to crownelements.com and enter the code DLP, as in Digital Loctician Podcast, for a little treat from me to you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so I'm going to bring Demi up onto the podcast and we're going to jump right into it. Hey, Demi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm really excited that you're here, right? Because you're part of my digital text club.
Yes.
So grateful for that. And if you're not in the digital text club, make sure you get there. Demi reached out. And I'm going to read her message because I feel like it gives so much context to this conversation. She said, "Hello, I've been feeling some kind of way about locticians and stylists. I've been noticing on social media that negative comments are said when people address the cost of a retwist." How many of y'all feel that? And retwists be expensive, right? So then she said, basically, if a retwist is under $150, it's considered cheap and not professional. A certain loctician offered services for a minimum of $1,000. Locks are becoming commercialized. What happened to locks being affordable, manageable, convenient? And she says she's not referring to sister locks or micro locks. So let's chat. So we're going to talk about it. Demi, what? So you look like you've had locks for a while. You were just going for a retwist? What happened?
So I've been locked for about 2 years. It's actually been a little over 2 years. And honestly, when I first got my locks, I think the lady charged me like $175 to start them. I started with 2-strand twists. And I wanted smaller locks. So I was very understandable of the price. My retwists were $70. I always tipped her because, I understand, tipping service and everything. So one day it was like, I'm going up to $125. I can't even remember what it went up to.
From 70.
From 70, it went right on up there. And I'm not saying I don't understand you going up. I understand product is, has gone up. Rent has gone up, what have you. But I was just like, and it didn't bother me because she's a stylist. She does have a license. She's a cosmetologist. So she could do the whole thing. So I understand some of it. But if you're not consistent with my time, if you're not consistent with the products that you use, and some of these people are out here saying, I'm just retwisting your hair with oil. Well, shampoo doesn't cost that much. And we're using oil. Like, what are we doing for a retwist that $150 and up is supposed to be standard?
So where are you located? I feel like let's give some context to this. Where are you located?
Okay, so I am in Tennessee. I am in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah. And I've seen prices. I have a sister who lives in Vegas. So I know that prices in Vegas can be a little pricey. So I know in different areas.
Yeah. For sure.
It's going to be, Atlanta. They, for whatever reason in Atlanta, they say, once again, if it costs more, it's supposed to be better.
Yeah.
That's what they think. But if it costs more and your hair is on the ground, is it really better?
Yeah, no, I understand your plight. Coming from the position of a loctician, right? I remember charging, I want to say when I first started, I was charging maybe $75. This was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. No, 8 years ago. So what is that? What are we in now? 2023? I was 8 years ago, minus 8, 2015. I was charging like $75. I was at my house. So was the person that you're trying to do, are they at a salon or are they at home? Where they at? Because I think
They're
that
at a
matters too.
salon.
They're at a salon. Okay, so I was at
Mhm.
my house. I was washing hair. I feel like a lot of people, I've heard experience. How about you? About people you saying come with your hair already shampooed for locks, even.
And I think that's crazy. That's unsanitary,
Yeah.
you know. And once again, you're charging $100 and up, and you're not even washing hair. Like, tell me what it entails. Are we
Yeah.
steaming? Are we washing? Do I get a style? You know,
Yeah.
what am I getting for this amount? And I'm not saying I won't pay. I pay the $125 if I
Yeah.
feel like it's worth it.
The
But
value. You're looking for value.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you feel like the particular stylist that you were working with, do you feel like they could articulate the value, or they're just saying I'm going up and the price is the price?
I mean, she articulated what it was, the reason she did all, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't pay her. I'm not saying
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
I'm okay, so there was a post where the young lady, you know how they do the little skits. The young lady was like, her stylist was going up. I can't remember how much, but her stylist was going up to a price, and so it showed her doing her own, you know, getting her products and
Your
stuff,
own
getting ready
hair.
to do her
Right.
own
Yeah.
retwist. And I mean, people were just going at her in the comments. And I was like, hey, I mean, come on now. Locks used to be something I would feel like, first of all, do I go every 4 weeks? You know, we're saying we go every 4 weeks. But if you want me to come every 4 weeks, I can't pay you $200 every 4 weeks. I can't.
Yeah. Over the course of a year, that's a lot, right? I feel
Yeah.
like, so from your perspective, were you going to, before you started your locks 2 years ago, well, let's say 3 years ago, before you started your locks, how were you wearing your hair? How are you maintaining your hair?
So yeah, I've been, I guess you could say, natural since
Yeah.
2008. So by the time right before I started, I was just washing my own hair and, you know, brush, put it in a puff and keep it going. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I asked that question because as a professional, like it gives context to locks. I feel like when you before you started your locks, what did you think of locks? Like you thought, what was your view of having locked hair from the standpoint of like how does locks impact your lifestyle? How did you think? Or how did it fit into your lifestyle?
So I had some family members that got locks, and they were like, girl, you just need to lock your hair. You're uncommon anyway. And so I got tired of waking up in the morning and my hair standing on top of my head.
And trying to
And
figure
so
it
I
out.
was like, yeah, I was like, when I wake up, I want to be cute, you know. So now I wake
Yeah.
up and I'm cute, and that's
Get up and go. No, I feel like it's the epitome of getting your what do you call it? Getting some like lashes on. Have you ever had fake lashes?
no,
It's
no,
like
no,
you just,
no.
well, you get lashes, you wake up just like, oh, wow, you look amazing. Get your eyebrows done. It's like, oh, I woke up like this. Locks
Yeah,
is like the same thing. But to your point though, you were just washing your hair, detangling it, kind of like letting the fro do its thing, and coming to locks to, like, I would say, lower the requirement to have to mess with your hair every day.
right.
So it's like maybe just spending money on products to like, okay, now I got locks. And it's like, okay, I gotta buy products to maintain them at home. And I gotta go to you to do my hair. And you telling me I gotta get treatments and other stuff. So it's like they start stacking the cost. And
Hmm.
it's like, for me as a loctician and also as an educator, I teach the locticians that I train that you should never want your clients to be dependent on you to the point that they can't do their own hair. That's my
Hmm.
perspective. Like, I believe that locks afford freedom. So if they're affording freedom, I want you to be able to do your own hair. You should be able to do your own hair and I'm gonna teach you how to do your own hair, and I'm gonna tell you the products to get, and you come see me every couple months. It don't gotta be every month, but if you're gonna come see me every month, there's gonna be a tax because you could do this.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's fine. But what you said, so see what you said. You said if you are going to do their hair, you're
Yeah,
going to show them how to maintain their hair at their house.
100%. Yes,
And then when they come see you, that's that luxury time. That's that time when I get
yes,
that, you know what I'm saying? I get that good shampoo, I get that good steam. I'm gonna get a style that I can't do at home. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pay this, whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
because I've not had that experience. But if I
yeah.
go to you and you give me what I did at home, maybe not to the
Okay,
same
okay.
quality,
Okay.
should it be that, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting into standards, right? Because it's like you're noticing that people are locticians, we'll put it in quotes.
Hmm.
They're charging 200, 300, $400 for locks, and all they're doing is sending you out the door with what you do at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Or
I
less.
mean, because okay, so let's everybody knows them. What is it? The ones that are in Atlanta and they're in New York. What are they? What's their names?
They're in
I can't
Atlanta and
remember.
in Newark.
Yeah,
With the
the
pink.
fashion dress or whatever they used to be
Yeah.
called.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're gonna give you the best style,
Yes.
but is the retwist quality? Is
Define
all I'm
quality.
saying.
Define quality. What's quality to you?
I mean, I had a conversation with a young lady the other day. She was
Okay.
paying somebody to do her hair. Her hair started falling out. Basically,
Yeah.
she had to comb out her locks because the
Mm-hmm.
person she was going to did not take the necessary time to understand her hair,
Mm-hmm.
um, how tight to retwist her hair. You can't redo everybody's hair the same way.
Correct.
And then they dyed it, whatever they did to it, and then it fell out.
Mm.
So when
Yes.
I
Yep.
say quality, I'm talking about taking care of my hair. I shouldn't get just because you put a product in somebody else's hair, you can't put that same product in my hair. I'm gonna start itching. Now I'm trying to figure out because I just got a retwist. The last thing you want to do is wash your hair. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And scratch it
So
out. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
these are things that I'm saying, like, and that's why when I see them, they're the retwist that I wouldn't want that on my hair, and
Yeah.
it's basically the same retwist for
Type of
everybody.
retwist with a comb and it's real snatched and tight and the product is good though.
I don't even
So
use a comb to retwist my hair. I can't stay. Don't comb my hair.
that's just not up to your standards. So again, so it gets back to standards, but it also applies to the philosophy, right? Because locticians, or rather locks, period, because to your point, it's becoming more mainstream. More people are getting it. More people are offering the service. Um, but it's from an aesthetic point of view. Like, we won't make it look tight. We won't make it look snatched. You could walk out the door with this style, but what's lacking is the care behind it. And so it sounds to me like you're concerned with the price going up, but the care going down or just not being there.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And so and I agree with you 1,000%, which is it's probably gonna be hard for us to debate because that is real. It's so real. I don't is it I feel like maybe they're not commercial. I feel like the commercialization of locks is more so the what do you call those things? The artificial
The,
lock, the lock
the
extensions that you
I
put
don't
in.
even
You
want to
buy them
touch
from
it. Yeah,
okay.
I don't. I mean, I get it. I get it. And like I think Sweet Twist just did the other day. She did where they had the little curly ends on it. But like she
Mhm.
said, it was something temporary. You can
Yeah.
just pull it right back. I also understand sometimes we want a different look,
Yeah.
but I'm just, I mean, I don't know. I
You buying
have a
locks at the store is a commercial. That makes it a commercial product.
yeah,
If you buying locks, it's a commercial item. I feel like your point is the the style, the like emphasis on styling versus health. And you're charging for styles versus charging for health. It yes, it's a big thing. It's an epidemic in the lock world, which is why I started my academy, because it's like I don't you could probably style your own hair. You can watch YouTube and learn how to style your own hair. Would you agree?
I agree. I bought your the the course on how to retwist my hair because after experiencing something, I was like, you know what? I'm about to
I'm
do
gonna
this
give
at the
you
house.
Was
You
it
know what I'm
helpful?
saying?
Was it helpful to you?
Absolutely. I still kind of struggle with clip placement,
Yeah. Yeah.
but as far as like learning, the back part of it and whatever to do, absolutely. Yes.
I appreciate that. And I would say understanding the care and the how to is what is completely missing from this industry. It is when locks became like, oh, okay, they're acceptable. Now let's accept them as long as they look like this, as long as they get in
Yes.
this box. Have you
Yes.
noticed that? You noticed that too?
I have noticed it. It
What
kind of
would you
bothers me.
what would you say is the confines of that box that locks are now put into?
They have to look clean, and if you don't have a retwist, because people will be like, "Oh, I gotta get a retwist. I gotta get a retwist. I gotta get a retwist." But I mean, people have gone 3, 4, 6 months without getting a retwist.
Yeah.
So why are we in such a hurry to get a retwist? And so it's like it has to be in those clean parts, which is
Ripping
taking
the
your
ripping
hair out.
taking it out, okay? Every time you dry that comb down them parts, every single time, I'm like, oh, the follicles that's there, like, not to get nerdy on you, but you are born with all the follicles your hair follicles you will have in your life. New hair sprouts out of them every single day. If you go in every 3 weeks and tear them follicles up and like say you can't grow here, what you think's gonna happen
And now
over
you mad because
time?
you have alopecia.
And you have no hair, and your parts are just getting wider and wider and wider. Okay,
I'm here
I'm
with
sorry.
you. No, because that's how I feel. And that's why I was like, there is a person. I'm not gonna name no names because I watch Instagram.
Yeah,
I mean, So when I tell you,
it's
and I
fun to
showed
watch.
another, yeah,
Yeah.
come, jail, come. Then they do and it's like, oh, your retwist so far. Until when? Because now I have a part that I have no hair, and now I'm trying to push something or do a whole little hairstyle to cover up the bald spot that I have that you probably never would have had if you just use something else or something more simple. I don't even know. I'm not a stylist.
It's if you cared more about the health of the hair than how the hair looks coming out the door. For all the locticians, and I'm gonna put in a quote, all the locticians out there that are intending to offer hair locking services so that women or men can have freedom, that freedom comes with a level of responsibility. And it's probably not going to look like that slick ponytail you're used to doing or their Marley twist you're used to doing with the baby hair and all that stuff. Locks, their nature is natural. Their nature has texture. Their nature has unruliness. And so it's probably not going to be smooth and clean as soon as you walk out the door, but the hair will be healthy. And I feel like because it's not smooth and neat, people are like, oh, they're going to say I didn't do a good job or they're not going to love it. It took me personally a long time to get comfortable with like just posting retwists that I've done because I was like, it doesn't look like everyone else's. because it's not smooth and neat and baby hairs laid, because I'm focused on inside of the hair. Like, I want my clients to have locks 10 years from now if you decide to keep it. I'm not thinking about now. So it's getting out of the mentality that it has to look perfect for the internet, you know?
So when you say freedom, are we telling all of our, I know you said a couple of months or what have you, what, because if I need to come into the shop every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, is it freedom now? You know, I'm
Yeah.
tied again, I'm tied to going into a beauty shop. I'm tied to hours of sitting in a beauty shop, because that's one reason why I went natural, because I didn't want to be in the manufacturer of going from chair to chair to chair to chair, getting my hair done. So, and my back end going from chair to chair to chair with locks.
Yes, it can be like that. It can be it. I'll be honest. It can be like that because, for starting locks in particular, I make it a point, one, to have consultations, and I feel like a lot of times when they're charging these outrageous prices, they're not consulting you. They're like, everyone's $250. You come in, it's going to take me 1 hour, and they just do the same cookie cutter parts, same cookie cutter service across the board. It becomes like, as you were talking, I was like, oh my gosh, people have taken locks and put it in that same, what do you call that? What happened when we came in the salon every Sunday or every
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, and it was just like, put as many double booking. They started
Yes.
double booking with the lock services, just stacking them on. Never mind what your hair type is. Never mind what your uh what kind of allergies you have. Never mind what your density is like. Never mind what kind of style you may or may not want. It's just, everybody's an hour. Everyone come in at this time. Everyone 250, and so then you sit and wait.
And now I'm
Whereas,
not free anymore.
and now you're not free. I feel like, period. Now you're not free because you're trapped in the salon, but also you often find the loctician who will turn you away from the mirror so you can't see what's being done, don't know what products are being used, and that loctician can't service you, is booked, or you can't get to them, and now you have no idea what to do. Is that freedom? Is that
That
even
is not
freedom?
freedom for me. And it's, and that's why I said I don't know. I've changed it. Like I said, I do my hair now, and I'm like, I'll
Yeah.
see you every 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go, we can discuss if there's something wrong with it, you know, if I want to get a trim or something. But I want to be free to live my life and be happy with a healthy head of hair. I've never wanted to not have healthy hair. And I just feel like we've come away from that with locks. You know, I'm not one of those people where I know the whole background of locks, because I
Yeah.
don't. But I
Yeah.
do know that my understanding was it wasn't supposed to be something that was going to tie me down, keep me from living life. Like, you know, people are like, you can go swimming. You know, it's like sometimes people are like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, I know a lady now at work, she just started. She's like, girl, I had to wash my hair. I was like, please wash your hair.
Yes. Mm. And
Like,
you
please
get
wash
those
your
people,
hair.
you get those locticians that say, don't wash your hair for 6 weeks. It's just like,
Yeah.
how is this free? Like, I got my locks so I can wash my hair and not have to worry about it. It
Yeah.
is honestly heartbreaking. I feel like it's crazy because I feel like I lived through the natural hair era. Where
Mm-hmm.
we turn back to natural and we're returning to locks, but like that same toxicity that came into the natural hair world, where it was like, you have to use this product, you can't do this, you can't do that. They just dumping that into the lock community now.
Yeah, and I feel like they're doing it because guess what? They know we care. So, and we're gonna pay for it. So let's just dump it in there, and we just gonna make them pay for it. And somebody is gonna be at a later time, they're not gonna be happy. and then we're going to revert back to doing something else. I like my hair. I don't
Yeah.
know how long I'm going to be locked,
Yeah.
but right now I'm locked and it's convenient and I like it. But I don't want a whole bunch of stigmas to be put on me. And I don't want it to be put on other people who want to go this route, and they feel like they can't because, oh, now I have to pay $200-300 for, a retwist. Now, once again, if you tell me what that $200-300 consists of, because there's no way in the world I would pay somebody $1,000 for a simple wash and retwist. What are we doing? Are we steaming my hair? We're gonna put it up in a style. What are you gonna do special to me that makes me feel like it's okay to spend this type of money?
Yeah. I agree. I mean, again, to your point, it's the value and it's the care. It's being able to show that and articulate it and also create an experience with locks because locks can be done at home, like you said. But if you have an experience that is, you cannot, when you are coming to Crown Element Salon, you was not replicating what I was doing at the salon. Like, yes, you can know how to retwist your hair, but are you steaming while you're doing your shampoo? Are you getting filtered water? Are you making sure that every your scalp, you're doing a scalp analysis? Are you doing microscopic checks within the locks? Like, are you sitting under the dryer such that you're not there for hours on end, but at the same time, the back of your hair is getting dry? Are you getting checked for lint? Is lint being removed out of your hair? Like, there's so many things, so much value that can be in a lock service, but people just focus on this retwist and style and they want to up it to $1,000. And I think as a loctician or former loctician, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, there is levels to the price point that I feel like professionals should be able to explain to their clientele. And I feel like you as a client deserve to understand and know what it is. And you make the decision whether or not you want to pay it.
That's true.
So all that being said, what advice would you have to someone getting started with locks or maybe looking for a new loctician and having concerns about price, knowing what you know now, 2 years into your journey?
So research, research, and like you said, consultation, go and talk to them, find out what they're doing. I went by somebody's shop. I was out for lunch and I
Yeah,
went into the shop and I was like, can I watch you work? I think I caught him off guard,
I like that
but
though. That's
he
old
was like,
school.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. So I sat there and I watched him work, left out of there, said, wasn't going back, but I did watch him work,
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's the whole thing though. When we go to buy something, when you go and buy clothes, you look at it, you touch it, you feel it, you know what I'm saying? You try it on, see if it fits, and we don't do that when it comes to our hair.
Mm-mm.
So that's something that we should do, go on their pages, social media, and see what they're doing. Research and see what their prices look like. See if it's affordable. See if they have a time frame. Because to me, time is really important.
Time is
And I
really
don't
important.
have 3 hours to sit somewhere.
Yeah.
So see if they have a time frame.
Yeah.
Check their reviews and all of that. And check to see everyone doesn't require a license. But if you want a stylist, if you think that you're going to want to get your hair colored at some time, make sure they have a license. If you're comfortable with going just with a natural person, it doesn't have to have that license. You can possibly run into somebody who doesn't wash hair because it's not required in those states.
Yeah. That's great advice. And I would take it a step further and say that for looking for a loctician that cares about hair, yes, having a cosmetology background is important because locks are hair, but looking for a certified loctician, someone that has studied hair locking processes. And what is their certification in? Is it holistic? So are they looking at the care of your hair? Or is there certification from a stylist or stylistic based institute where it's just teaching them styles? So you really understand the philosophy of that loctician. and great advice with doing the research. I would also add their Instagram or their TikTok is the highlight reel. They only going to show you the clients when their parts is looking clean and neat and beautiful. They're not going to show you when the parts gaps start forming and all that stuff. All right. So like Demi said, go in there and watch. Okay. Like have a real consultation and conversation about what products they're using. Why are they using their products? See what kind of questions they are asking you in their consultation. Are they personalized to what you want? Or is it just general, like, oh, these are my hours, and they ask you nothing about your journey? Like those are the details that will determine the impact in your lock journey. I think we will help somebody with that.
Yes, I hope so.
Thank you so much for your time, Demi. I really appreciate this conversation. I know that this is going to stir up some conversation within the community that needs to be had, okay? Because we want to have our locks for as ever long as we want. And we want to find someone that cares for them or have the knowledge to care for them ourselves. So this was so good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And for those of you that are still here, I thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And again, I invite you to head over to crownelements.com to get you some hair care products that is going to support your holistic hair care journey. And if you're a loctician wondering, how do I get certified? How do I learn more about hair care? Definitely head over to the Digital Loctician Academy. We have our holistic loctician training program that will teach you how to care for locks. I'm talking about from the foundation, through the consultation, through the maintenance, through treatments, everything. We walk you through that process so that you have the knowledge to not be out here snatching out edges, okay, and bridging the gaps between parts. So again, thank you so much for being here. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, and good vibes.